In the blue corner, training out of Toronto, Canada, representing Team Lloyd Irvin, it's Kieran Kichuk!
And we are back. Welcome to the main card, folks. Here we see Kieran Kichuk, hailing from Canada, representing TLI, making his way towards the mat. And what a dynamic grappler he is, leading the way recently with the false reap revolution, a technique that's sort of become a standard part of all no-gi players' games. But that's not all he has, Jake.
No, you know, he has displayed a very well-rounded game, especially in recent antiquity. He is really coming into his own in a lot of different ways, including even getting better at leg locks. I mean, his statistics speak for themselves, Chase.
In the red corner, training out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, representing 10th Planet Bethlehem, it's Rene Sousa!
There he is, Rene Sousa, 10th Planet representative, making his way to the mat. Fans might remember him as a favorite from the WNX series, Who's Next? A king of the buggy choke. Maybe he has some suggestions to Callum from the last match. In any case, we have two very divergent styles here. Rene Sousa, extremely creative and unorthodox, and Kieran, extremely precise.
Yeah, I was distracted, Chase. I thought that Rene Sousa was sponsored by Ford for a second, but let's get into the tail of the tape. Rene Sousa, 25 years old. Kieran Kichuk, 27 years old. A little bit of a height discrepancy. Rene Sousa, about 3 inches taller and similar in weight. Kieran Kichuk on the FloGrappling, who's #1 rankings at 21. Here we go.
Fight!
Immediate sit to guard, commanding the flow of the match is Kieran Kichuk. The first guard sit without grips we've seen tonight. Kieran Kichuk boasts an impressive record of 63-14 with a 77% submission rate, 42% of which come from leg attack, Chase.
Very efficient grappler, and you can see Rene Sousa already well aware that distance management is going to be a key to this match. He cannot get too confident. As I say that, he leaps into danger there.
Rene Sousa is not listening to the commentary booth, which is good for him.
Yes. Yes. No, what I meant to say is he can't hang out in the middle range. He has to be all the way in or all the way out. Jiving over the top is one way to do that.
Yeah, one thing about Rene Sousa that I really like as well is his submission defense, especially training with the 10th Planet system where the EBI rule set kind of demands that you have good submission defense. It's very impressive. So against someone like Kieran Kichuk, who, man, so as we just said, submission machine, it's going to be an important key to victory for Rene.
Rene also has a ton of experience training with great leg lockers. At a 10th Planet Bethlehem, also has John Blank over there, Zach Meslani, among many other talented grapplers that he spends time with. I know he's been training with JT Torres a bunch recently, as well as traveling around doing a lot of seminars. So Rene Sousa has been exposed to all of the tricks from the highest levels of the game. That really shone through, actually, in his recent performance at No-Gi Worlds. Took home bronze, but 4 wins with 4 submissions. And here we see Kieran, though, chasing a leg. Man, he's so efficient at what he does.
Oh, it's dangerous. If Kieran even gets a grip on your foot, I'm already nervous. But Rene Sousa also just, you know, a student of the game, became a fan favorite, like you said, on Who's Next, the FloGrappling reality show. It was a very, very good show. I definitely loved it. Oh, and here we see Kieran Kichuk
This is
has a grip over the ankle. And this is how it starts. Now he patiently waits. But Rene Sousa turning out, great defense out of him. Taking a step back as if to remind himself about the space that he definitely, I would agree, Chase, needs to maintain as one of the keys to victory here.
A couple of great leg lockers in the corner of Rene Sousa here. I see Keith Korian.
Oh, looking for a guillotine over the top. Rene Sousa remaining dangerous.
Keith Korian and Kyle Chambers, another WNX alum. Ooh, look at an arm drag there. Comes up on top, then drops back on a leg.
And look at Kichuk's his willingness to just sit back and continue to go for the leg attacks. In spite of the clear opportunity to initiate guard passing, just comfortable in a 15-minute match in which he has 12 minutes left. He can continue with this game. And as long as Rene Sousa is consistently on the defensive, the judges will most likely give Kieran Kichuk the favor.
Still very even so far. But Kieran now throws up a triangle, twists to omoplata, comes to top, and now chasing a leg that transitions from Kieran Kichuk. So smooth, so quickly.
Yeah, you could say, you know, the transitions out of Kieran, but also the ability to kind of go with the flow. Rene has consistently defended all the spots, even the deeper spots we've seen him in. But one thing is eventually it's going to have to kind of swing in the favor of Rene if he wants to come out on top in this match. So far, so good, though, for both competitors. Rene Sousa notably had a very impressive buggy choke victory versus Jay Rodriguez on Who's Next, brother of our main event tonight, Nicky Rodriguez. And that's a really consistent attack that Rene is going for, is that diving guillotine over the top. It seems like he really favors that move. Maybe he noticed something in his preparation for this match. Perhaps Kieran Kichuk would be susceptible to. Just a little over 10 minutes left.
All right, what do we have here? This is looking very intricate and dangerous.
The judges favor blue.
There we see a slight lead in the momentum there for Kieran Kichuk. Rene, though, the best look of that diving Kimura we've seen so far.
Oh, well, he does have the arms trapped, but it is dangerous here because he does look like he might be giving up an opportunity on the back. Kieran Kichuk just needs to bide his time and possibly throw that left foot over, but you see Rene keeping his hips far away, keeping the grip on the Kimura. You're right, Chase. Definitely an interesting look on that, on the diving Kimura. It looked to me like all match he was going for the diving guillotine. But right there, catches the arm, trying to roll back on top. Oh, and a bad spot for Rene Sousa with Kieran Kichuk on your back. And the body triangle only makes things worse. This could spell trouble for Rene Sousa here. Plenty of time to work for Kieran Kichuk.
Yeah, high-risk maneuver there from Rene Sousa resulted in a great position for Kieran Kichuk.
Oh, and
this
this
smash on the choke over the jaw a little bit there.
The arms are getting closer and closer to their destination, Chase. So far, just a bit of a smother on the face. Oh, and now Rene Sousa potentially getting his hips out of line here.
Yeah,
Did a great job releasing that body triangle like you were just about to say, Chase.
Great defense there from Rene Sousa, but definitely not out of danger yet as Kieran Kichuk looks to adjust, chase the back further, but Rene Sousa doing work.
Not out of the woods yet, but a great start by Rene Sousa to get out of this position. And now out of it is Rene Sousa. Great defense. And that's got to do a little bit for the confidence there. Big snap downs by the taller competitor.
Of course, now Sousa is well aware that Kichuk maintains a significant lead so far in our judges' eyes, and you'll have to make something pretty crazy happen to earn that back based on positional control alone.
Rene is changing very slightly his approach to that diving attack. Sometimes he's going and trying to switch his hips over the top to maintain control over the body. Sometimes he's going for a guillotine. As you saw in that precarious situation we saw him in earlier, he went for a Kimura. I gotta think that that's a big part of the game plan of Rene Sousa. Big transition out of both. Oh, big opportunity potentially almost there.
Yeah, Great flow between these guys. I mean, it's not entirely, I don't know, willing, let's say, but they're trading shots quite nicely.
Yeah, one thing I'm starting to see is a little bit more confidence out of Rene Sousa, which is interesting because he just found himself in a bad position, but you can really see the mental toughness. He's taking a little bit more risks. It seems like he's starting to understand a little bit of the nature of Kieran Kichuk's attacks. But make no mistake, Kieran's still in the lead in the judges' eyes. Big snap on the neck from Rene Sousa. Oh, stepping over is Rene to defend that and potentially ending up on a leg attack of his own for a second. Definitely very interesting flow between these two, like you said earlier, Chase. Rene has a mission to hashtag buggy choke the world, as you guys have seen.
Beautiful. I like that. Good. Keep your body sideways so there's no blood up.
And there we see
Rene.
a look by Rene Sousa.
And a heavy club as he comes back to top position.
My goodness. And you know, I will say, Chase, that the heavy club on the head, it may not do anything for position, but if you upset your opponent, then you've done your job.
The judges flavor blue.
As you just heard, the judges flavor blue.
That's live production, baby. Here we go.
Big knee cut over the top by Rene Sousa. Sorry for interrupting you, Chase. It's just exciting. There's some pretty dynamic movement going on here.
Rene did bring a very interesting tact to the match here tonight, which is avoiding the leg locks by diving over the top. I mean, it's clearly something that he's chosen to do to try and mitigate some of Kieran's best attacks, but he also, whoa!
Oh my goodness!
Sort of slid in the mountain nearly there, but great reaction from Kieran.
As you can see, Rene Sousa definitely very knowledgeable about the leg entry game. Kieran has been, as we said, and brought up in the submission rate of 77% earlier. He's definitely a very dangerous competitor, but Rene has done his homework. And Kieran has remained ever so consistent. Very hard to get any openings on. Really showing why he was the favorite coming in.
Yeah, really nice look at a arm saddle there, but Rene countering well.
Oh, and possibly passing is Rene Sousa.
Oh,
and a Darce choke over the top. Oh, and the biggest look for Rene Sousa so far. And now he's going to pick up the pace.
Pretty sure I just saw a snarl from Rene Sousa as he got up in a good way. He was fired up in that moment, knowing that he had a great look there.
Rene Sousa trying to potentially turn this omoplata attempt into a leg attack of his own.
Knee-bar.
This is a knee bar, and he gets the tap. Rene Sousa takes out Kieran Kichuk off of his own attack. My goodness.
Wow. Can you believe it? The leg lock specialist gets caught by Rene Sousa.
Kieran Kichuk had Rene Sousa on the receiving end of all of his attacks all match. Rene Sousa had one opportunity, and he took it.
Let's see if we can get a replay there of that submission. What a reversal from Rene Sousa to come back and win that match definitively. Here we have it.
All match, Chase. It was Kieran Kichuk. He had every position mapped out over and over again. He was able to impose his will, cause different situations. Rene Sousa was consistently having to kick out. Right here, we see that Kimura attempt that ended up being a back take for Kieran Kichuk, in which we thought the match might be close to over. But then, as we see a little later on, because Rene Sousa just did a lot this match, this was probably the closest match moment for Rene Sousa up until he actually did win by submission. And we saw a newfound intensity out of him after this situation. You said that he snarled, Chase.
Yeah, hopefully we get a great look. This is the beginning of that knee bar, and it was on. There was no doubt about it. Kieran had to tap, and Rene is over the moon.
And your winner by submission via knee bar, Rene Sousa!
What a moment for Rene Sousa. Heart of a lion to come back from that one, Jake.
And he has had some great matches here on Who's Number One. That's got to feel amazing. Being the underdog and pulling off that submission, great work, and congratulations to Rene Sousa.
Let's hear from Ken LaRusing and our winner, Rene Sousa.
All right, we are here with Rene Sousa. Rene, not only congratulations on the win, but congratulations on your Tez bonus here.
Snap, we need to pay rent. Let's go! Woo!
So an amazing match from start to finish. Talk us through a little bit about how not only there was a back take and there were two judges' predictions or calls that were not in your favor. So what was going through your mind after that second one?
Can everybody give it up for Kieran real quick? He's a savage, guys. Super tough savage. I've been training for this match for a long time, really like working for exactly those things, you know, like was working on defending the false sweep. I knew he was good at back takes and stuff. I knew he was good at triangles. So everything he threw, I had trained for it. Yeah, it felt like shit when I heard that the judges, who are the judges? Jake Watson over there? I'm coming for you. No, it sucked, but it's true, you know. I didn't want to play into his game, so I didn't want to go too heavy. That was our plan. Shout out to Kyle Chambers, Keith Corey, and they helped me out to warm up and just get my mind right. But then, yeah, I don't know, like, I was just telling them, like, it's crazy, you know, like, stepping up next level in competition, like, out of 1,000 thoughts you have in your head, 999 are, like, negative, you know? But I had a vision. I thought I was going to get a buggy, not going to lie, but he did not want to come up on top. But yeah, I do that knee bar a lot, so yeah, I just, like, in each moment kept forgetting about the rest of the match, kept staying physical, you know, jiu-jitsu chop style. Shout out to JT Torres. And yeah, it felt sick. This is awesome. This is going to pay my rent.
Awesome. Congratulations. You've certainly become a fan favorite.
All right, well, he called me out, Chase, but I do got to read this Tezos Who's Number One ad. So this Tezos Who's Number One is brought to you by Tezos, the energy efficient blockchain and official partner of Flow Sports. Tezos is designed to evolve, built to empower.